Today I'm going to turn this dollar store pumpkin into a rotten pumpkin, thanks to Eduardo from Monster Tutorials. Okay, so I have sketched out my basic design for my little jack-o'-lantern pumpkin, and I'm going to go ahead and transfer it to my little dollar store pumpkin here. I just got to figure out what side's going to look best, what side's cleanest, and that's the side that I'm going to go ahead and draw my little face on. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Through the magic of editing, you can see that I've got my face on my pumpkin. Now, the next step is to go ahead and cut out the design. I'll be using a regular old, craft knife for this. The design is all cut out, as you can see. Just slow and steady. Very careful. It's a hollow pumpkin, so it's not too hard to do. That's all there is to it. The next step is to wrap it with some plastic wrap for a process that Eduardo calls corpsing. So I'll go ahead and show you how that works. As you can see, I've laid out my plastic wrap here. I'm going to go ahead and take my pumpkin, put him face down right there in the middle, and go ahead and pull the plastic wrap from one side. Go ahead and hold it tightly and just roll him on around until he's completely wrapped. Firmly press all the plastic wrap and twist the tops and bottoms. Trying to keep it as smooth as possible, but actually the more veiny it looks, the better your project's going to turn out. I would like to state at this point that this is my first time I've ever tried this, and absolutely all credit for this idea goes to Eduardo at Monster Tutorials. Please check out his link in the description below. You can see the top and bottom of my pumpkin there. And now, I just got to go get a heat gun. Here we go. Here's the heat gun. I'm going to heat her up. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Heating the bottom of the pumpkin first to seal the little bottom knot there. You kind of got to play with the heat a little bit. It's kind of a touch and go kind of a system. You kind of got to just get a feel for it. I like mine on high heat because it seems to work a little quicker, and as long as you pay attention to what you're doing, keep the heat moving, you should be good. At this point of the process, all you're trying to do is get the plastic to tighten up around the outside of the pumpkin, and what it does is it basically creates a skin to hide the shininess of this dollar store pumpkin. There's different pumpkins you can use for this that aren't quite so shiny. You don't have to do this part of the process, but I actually think that this adds a layer of texture, no pun intended, to the project overall. So, pretty cool, very simple, as you can see. Just take your time with it. Tighten everything up. Don't burn your hands. And then slow and steady, the plastic wrap is going to seal around the pumpkin. And you'll get a very, very nice finished product, as you can see. Nice and sealed in that plastic wrap. Bottom nice and tight. Top nice and tight. This is perfect. Next comes the fun part where we actually melt out our design. Patience and a steady hand during this part of the process is going to yield you the best results. This works very, very quickly, so do not keep the heat in one spot for too long. As you'll see, even an amateur like myself, trying this project for the very first time ever, can get some absolutely amazing results. And I cannot thank Eduardo enough for putting his tutorial online, and that's what I'm following here to kind of show you what I did. Look at that. In just those couple seconds, those are the cool kind of rotten results you can get. You can see how that's all melted out there. I'm going to go ahead and clip that toothpick on the inside before the project's completely done. But I am super happy with the results that I got there. And in real time, you saw exactly how long that took. So I'm going to go ahead and heat up some other spots here to kind of rough it up a little bit and play with this. See what I can come up with. So here you go. You can see how playing with the heat is going to give you some different types of, textures and patterns, and bubble up some spots and smooth out others. Very cool. And again, the longer you hold the heat in one spot, the more texture you're going to get. So I'm super happy with the way this is turning out. Now the next part of the process is to get some spray paint and to spray paint into the cavity. Now you got to be super careful with this because the spray paint will eat away the styrofoam. And there you go. Now I just did around the eyes and the mouth for now. I think I did a little too much around the mouth here, but it's okay. I think it's going to turn out good. You got to wipe it off right away so it doesn't get too much on your project. Now the idea here is to go over the whole thing with the spray paint to give it a very dark look, but you want to wipe the spray paint off immediately after spraying it on. I'll show you that. Now I went ahead and sprayed my whole pumpkin very lightly, wiped it off immediately, and therefore you get a texture where the paint kind of clings into the grooves and you have highlights all the way around it. Now I'm going to use some of this green and white paint, as Eduardo demonstrated, to kind of give it some highlights, make it look like there's mold growing on the pumpkin. Basically though, all you want to do is just dab very, very lightly. You want to do this almost like a dry brushing technique, where there's very little paint on your brush. Dab very carefully wherever you want the paint. Little white, little green, different layers. I'm going to show you how mine turned out. That's it. That's the way my little pumpkin turned out. Looks super cool. I think he looks adequately rotten. Throw him on a shelf. Some people might even think he's real. All told, this project takes about 10 minutes if I wasn't doing the video and all that. So this is a really cool project, really cheap. Time to go set them on the shelf, see if anybody notices. Halloween is my absolutely favorite holiday of the year. I hope everybody's enjoyed this little video. Again, super thanks to Eduardo at Monster Tutorials. This was his idea, not mine. I just thank you guys for watching my video. Interested in the paranormal? Check out the mysterious puzzle t-shirts at Parabox Monthly. Use promo code HNX10 and get 10% off your order. Check out the link in the description below.